Hi there, it's Lori, and that's what my phone likes to say. I'm going to show a chainless foundation with the lemon peel stitch. So what this allows you to do is not make a chain and not have to do a single crochet, so a chain and then a single crochet row. You can go straight to the lemon peel stitch, straight out of the gate after your slip knot and a chain. Not a whole length of chain, just straight up into this. So let me show you how I'm holding my yarn. So I have it wrapped around that finger. Some people wrap it around their pinky. Sometimes I wrap it around this finger, but often it'll catch on my ring. So that's just what's natural to me. And then this is how I do a slip knot. I cross, grab it, grab the yarn and pull it through and then pull down tight. There are 100 ways to do, and again, that's how I'm holding it. I wrap it around that finger and then put it over the top. I broke my finger right here 20-ish years ago, and so it's much more comfortable for me to keep it straight. Anyway, right under the knuckle. Anyway, so you can do a chainless foundation row with any stitch if it has no skipped stitches. I do not know how to do it if it has skipped stitches. Anyway, so we've got our slip knot. I showed you how I hold my yarn. I'm using a 6mm hook, which is kind of small for this one. Usually I size up, but it's just what was convenient. See, I moved it to there. So sometimes if it's not feeling comfortable on that finger, I'll do it here. But if it starts catching on my ring, I'll move it again. So I'm pretty flexible with how I do it. But wrap it around the finger and then over the top of that index finger. Okay, so I'm going to grab my knot and yarn over and make a chain. Since our first stitch is a single crochet, this chain is not going to count as a stitch. We're going to go right in here, and I only just want to grab that loop. Okay, what would be called our back bump. I got a little too tight. There we go. Okay, now I'm going to pull it down a little bit. Yarn over, grab that, pull that through. Now, here is where it's different than your traditional chain and then put a single crochet through. Okay, normally to do a single crochet we would just pull through here, but I did a chainless foundation. It's not really going to stay chainless because what I'm going to do is yarn over and pull through one. Then I'm going to grab that, I'm going to pinch that with this yarn holding hand because I'm going to need to go into that in a minute. So I just created a chain. Now I'm going to yarn over, pull through those two. Now I've created a chain and a single crochet. You can see it's very loose because of how I'm going very slow. But we're gonna, so that is the beginning of the lemon peel stitch, is to do a single crochet. Now we're gonna do a double crochet. Sorry, my yarn keeps getting a little loose. All right, I need to find the two loops. Now I'm not gonna go in there just yet, but I'm gonna show you what you're looking for. Looking for those two loops. I kind of split my yarn because I wasn't being careful. But we need to do a double crochet. So we just did a single crochet. So I need US terms. I need to yarn over. I'm going to go underneath those two loops that created my chain. I yarn over, pull through. Now I have 3 loops on my hook. I'm going to yarn over, pull through one. That creates my chain. I want that kind of loose, so that's why I pinch it. And then I yarn over and pull through 2, and yarn over and pull through 2. So the lemon peel actually has multiple names, and I'll make sure to list all of them. My mind went blank as to all the other names, but I will make sure I list them all in the video. So a single and then a double. And so next we're going to do a single. So we're not going to yarn over. We're just going to find those two loops that created our chain. We're going to yarn over, pull through. Now we're not going to pull through both. We're going to yarn over and only pull through one. Again, that's creating my chain. And then yarn over and pull through both of them because it's a single crochet. Okay, so next is a double. So yarn over, go under those two loops that created your chain without having to do a chain. Yarn over, pull through. So now we have our 3 loops. Yarn over, pull through one. Pinch that, Again, you just don't want that stitch to collapse, otherwise it's hard to get in on the next stitch. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Okay, so single, double, single, double. Now we're going to do a single. Oops, no yarn over because it's a single. And I do that sometimes to hold my yarn. Whatever works for you is how you hold your yarn. So again, I held that one a little looser so it was very easy to get under those 2 loops. There's the 3rd loop there, which is kind of like your back loop. And again, we're creating that chain. So we yarn over and pull through. Yarn over, pull through 1, pinch that stitch, and then yarn over and pull through 2. And our next one is a double crochet. So again, though, when we pull through 1, we're creating a chain. And you can see this looks, well, I know it's hard with the fuzzies. It looks like I've got a chain there. So it makes the edge a lot cleaner. I have not figured out how to do this if your stitch pattern has a skipped stitch, but this does not have a skipped stitch, so I can do it. So we just did a single, so yarn over, go underneath those 2 loops. See, I let that stitch collapse a little bit. Yeah, I'm good though. We want 2 loops. I'm going to zoom way in, so hopefully this is easy to see. And then there's a 3rd loop kind of underneath. Yarn over, pull through. We're doing a double, but we're going to yarn over and pull through 1, pinch that stitch, and then yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. All right, one more pair, because the lemon peel is a pair and it will end. Started on a single, so it's going to end on a double. We're going to go under the 2 loops. We're going to pull yarn up. We're going to yarn over, pull through 1, pinch that stitch, yarn over, pull through both of them, single crochet. Okay, now we yarn over before we go underneath. We go in the stitch under 2 loops. We yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 1, pinch that stitch, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Okay, so we've created a chain with the pulling through 1, and then we need to, if we were going to continue this, we're going to start with a single and end with a double, which is what I did. There's how many pairs? 1, 2, 3, 4 pairs. We can count these stitches as well. Make sure you don't count that chain. But there's 6 stitches there. That's how you do it. Pulling through 1. I have a hypothesis I need to share about, not on this one, but sometime, about why we in America call it the double crochet and why those in the UK and probably in Australia too call it a treble or triple. They call it a treble. Anyway, I have thoughts on why. Both are very logical, but whichever one you learn is the one you learn. You see, this is kind of a stretchy stitch. In part, I did that very loosely, but I wanted you to see how you can just skip doing a big long chain altogether, and then you just keep going until you have your stitches the way you want them, which I am doing right here on this. I just you just make your chain however long you want, and you keep going, and then you didn't have to go and create a chain, even though you did create a chain, but one by one instead of a big long chain. All right, that's the lemon peel. Oh my gosh, I hope that whole thing wasn't out of focus. Yikes. Okay, I might have to re-record. We shall see. Real quick, I wanted to mention that this is something I wanted to share with specifically Becky Donette, or Crochet by Becky. Right? I just did a shout out. Why can't I remember her channel? Anyway, for her, and then also Yarn Over Hook was interested in this. So Sammy, I will tag both of those channels in there. I just wanted to add that in, that both of them were in my thoughts as I was doing this, and neither of them are as beginner as I tried to make this. I tried to make this as clear as possible. Please give me feedback on whether it was clear enough or not. I appreciate it. Thanks for coming in, and can I get an amen?